Hi everyone, it's Dawn Fisher, Morning Glory Needleworks. Welcome to FlossTube number 23. It's been almost a year. I'm so excited. I want to give my little blurb at the beginning, but first let me say welcome. I'm so excited. Thank you to everybody who subscribed, commented, all of that. As always, all the links to anything I talk about plus some other items are listed in the comments or description section underneath the video or next to the video, next to the YouTube video. I have links to my Etsy shop, which I'm going to talk about something in there. Instagram, I'm going to talk about something there. Stitch of the Month Facebook group, the Morning Glory Needleworks Facebook page, the Buy Me a Coffee in case you ever want to donate some money or anything. Bio.link, which actually has a link to everything else. And a reminder, I don't get paid for any of this. I don't get compensated to talk about products or patterns or threads or anything. I'm sharing in hopes that you will like these items also and check them out. And also as a reminder, I break my videos into chapters so you don't have to watch the whole thing. I hope you will, of course, but if you just want to see Stitch of the Month, or if you come back and want to go over Stitch of the Month, in that same description area, there's going to be a section called chapters, and each chapter, this one has 5 chapters, this video, and there'll be a little time stamp next to it, like 7 minutes and 32 seconds. So you just click on that and it'll take you right to the section you want to see. So that just helps, like I said, in case you come back and want to just review something. So my life update, intro, whatever, that was my intro. This is my life update. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. If you celebrate, we didn't do much. Our Thanksgiving was a little bit different because 3 or 4 weeks ago, Jeffrey was supposed to get dentures and he had all of his teeth pulled, and they were supposed to put the dentures in right away, but unfortunately there were some issues and they couldn't. So he hasn't had teeth for a few weeks. So it's been a little rough. So needless to say, I did not make a big Thanksgiving dinner, no turkey, no anything. The only thing I made was mashed potatoes and gravy because that was easy for him to eat. I had a bunch of sweet potatoes, like whole sweet potatoes. So I did make me some sweet potatoes because I like them and he doesn't. So he wasn't missing out. So I didn't want to cook a turkey for just me. So we just kind of had mashed potatoes and gravy, but it was good. It was all good. But for Christmas, once he gets his teeth and they're all working properly, I'll make a big Christmas dinner. He did get the bottom ones in fitted right, but the top ones he's having problems with. So we're going to take care of that tomorrow. Anyway, we did a Zoom, like a Zoom Thanksgiving. We do this on the holidays with my family. And it was just so nice to see everybody. It's hard because I can't travel right now a lot. And, everybody else isn't traveling much. My sister and her son live in Texas. Of course, I'm in Florida. And my other sister, Leah, and her husband and her son and my mom all live in Holland, Michigan. And my brother and his wife are also in Michigan, but they're on the other side of the state. And their kids also, they didn't join this time. I think they were traveling or busy. And also my niece who lives in Arizona. We were all in the chat, so it was really nice because you can see everybody and talk to everybody. And mom looks so good. She got new glasses. She got her hair cut. She looks really good and real cute. So it's just really good to see everybody. It was like one of the few good things that came out of this whole pandemic thing is we learned how to use COVID or how to use Zoom. And I actually purchased a license for Zoom so I can teach over it and do classes. And I actually record all of these videos are actually recorded on Zoom. I don't use real fancy equipment. I just have my laptop sitting here and my camera on and some lights and zoom. And that's how I do my all my videos, and I can edit them. If I do, I don't edit much, and I can edit them right in YouTube, little editing. So anyway, it was nice. It was just so good to see everybody, because right now I need to see something. Lots of stuff going on. But as I mentioned in my last FlossTube, I'd ordered a new shelving unit. It's like this with the cubicles. I actually think that's actually two separate ones. I ordered one big one that's the same size, and it weighed 80 pounds. Anyway, I talked last time about how I was having problems. One of the parts was damaged. They sent me a new part and it was the wrong part. So I finally got the correct part, and I sat down in the living room. Jeffrey helped as he could, because he can't get down on the floor or anything, and got it mostly put together. The first part did not take long at all. It just kind of went together, big and awkward because it's huge. And but then that last screw to put the top on, that last one, we could not get it to line up. I did everything. I took the top back off. I turned it around. I did everything. We were pushing on it. I could get it there. I could put a screwdriver in and get it in the right hole, but between the two of us, we could not hold it to get the big long screw in there to get in the hole. It was just off by that much. And so finally, Jeffrey just said, get the drill. So we drilled the hole. It's right next to the other hole. I put the big old screw in. And it went in. It's holding together. I love it. It's wonderful. I ordered some more of these cubicle things for it. It's on the other wall, so I'm facing it. But it'll be so nice to have all that more storage, because I think I told you I had a big sewing machine table in there, which I did not use. So I'm better off having a ton of storage. So anyway, I've got a few things in there, but once I get settled down here and get my things, all my little cubicle things, I'll fill it up, and it will not take long to fill up. So now, as I mentioned in my previous FlossTube, also, I attended a retreat in Port St. Lucie, Florida, and November 18th and 19th. It was actually supposed to be the weekend before, but because of Hurricane Nicole, which actually, it really didn't affect too much of where we would have been, but some people would have been driving through some pretty bad rain and some other things. So she decided to postpone it 1 week. So, but unfortunately, because of that, about a third of the people couldn't come. And that's sad, because it's like the more the merrier. The only good thing was there was more room, but it's always fun to see everybody and talk to everybody and see what everybody's working on and stitching. That's like the best part. And we had a really good time. Everybody had a good time. The food was fabulous. As always, the hotel just catered to us. They cooked special meals for us, so we didn't have to go out. And at night we did go out to eat, but it was really nice. So speaking of goodies and wonderful time, I want to talk about what I got at the retreat. So these retreats are by Ann Williamson, and she does Sunshine State Stitchers, which is hard to say, but she runs retreats and she has quite a few. I'm actually going to one next weekend. It's next weekend. Anyway, it's December like 9th and 10th. So I'm looking forward to that. That one luckily is within driving distance. So it's in Brandon. So I'm actually just going to drive back and forth so I don't have to stay at the hotel. Although I like staying at the hotel with everybody. But anyway, so every time you go to one of her retreats, you get a wonderful bag. These are really nice project bags. You can see the little Thanksgiving gnomes and things. Isn't that cute? And the turkeys on it. And she puts your name on them so you know whose it is. And it's just really nice. Nice project bag. She has somebody make them up. So I'm just going to go through some of the other goodies we got. This was a nice little case. This was the second day we all came down and got a nice little storage case, which those are always handy. And then inside, actually on our, where we were sitting, there was this wonderful little, kind of like a coaster thing that says grateful, very nice, because we all have to be grateful that we made it there. And she gives us wonderful things like stitching with friends, says Sunshine State stitching on it. Nice ink pen with a what do you call it? Touch thing on it, stylus, and a highlighter, which always come in handy. This thing I used like right away. This is a little, it's actually a mascara brush. And what you can do with this is if you're stitching and you, God forbid, you have to pull something out. And I actually used it because the project I brought with me, which I'll show in a minute, I'd been stitching something else, but I didn't like it on that linen. So I had to pull it all out, and it was black on like a white or off-white linen. So of course it left little black fuzzies where you just take this little brush and just brush it on the linen, and it just pulls up all the threads. This is very soft. So that was great. Like I said, I used that right away. She always gives us a little notebook that says Stitching with Friends, Sunshine State Stitching, nice little notebook. There's a skein of, I think this is Anchor Black floss, black Anchor floss. And one of these, I have a couple of these already. These are great, especially at the retreat. I set this up right away. I had everything sitting there, your scissors. I know I've got a pair of scissors here somewhere. Your scissors will go right in there. So it's great. There's all different size little holes, and they're flexible. So everything just fits right in there. So it's very handy. Let's see what else. Oh, another little pair of travel scissors, which are always handy. There was a little goodie bag with a, it has like an orange, a leaf in it, and a 2002, may as well open it up, a 2002 charm, little, they're not attached to each other. Trying to get it out so you can see the gold leaf, but for some reason, there we go. There's a little orange leaf, very fall, as this is autumn. Wonderful counting pen, and that is by Stitching Lee Along, Cherise Smith. So wonderful little, just little goodies that are fun to ooh and ah over. And she also did door prizes, and I won a door prize. And what she had was a bunch of patterns that had been gifted, patterns, kits, all different things. And so I got to go through those and choose one, and I got this. Now this can be done in embroidery or cross stitch. Both are included. It's hard to see in the package. Oh, here, maybe you can see that better. It's the Witch Village. Imagine that if you know me. This is the Witch Village by the Bee Company. And this has a cross stitch chart and the pattern. So you can embroider. It has a cross stitch chart and an embroidery pattern, whichever way you want to do it. It has a little piece of natural colored linen to use as the base. You can see here, they use that on the base of this, and it has these wonderful little wooden charms. So there isn't a lot of stitching, but there's these really cute little wooden charms to attach to it. So I like that one. It was fun. It was simple. It was fun. And also what they have is a freebie table. People bring in stuff they're not going to do, or that they've already stitched, and they leave the pattern there. So it's just free stuff you can pick up. So I thought this was really cute. This is a Satsuma Street. This was actually a silver needle project that was given out. A little help from our friends, Stitching Circle by the Silver Needle. This is a merry pair. I love Satsuma Street, and it includes little floss holders. It has the linen in there, some pretty purple, like velveteen for the backing, and all the thread you need, plus the directions. I haven't pulled it out yet, but it's very, very, very cute. I think this was stitched on paper, but it looks like they included linen with it. And then there's a needle in all the threads. So anyway, that was kind of a, like I said, I usually don't pick stuff up, but this is nice and quick and simple. And then I picked this up for my friend. She's very religious. And I just thought this was really pretty. This is by Silver Creek Samplers. And it says, guard me from all evil things under the shadow of your wings. And it's Psalm 17:8. So anyway, I picked that up for her because I knew she would like that. And she's not going to any retreats right now, or she probably would have been there with me. They're kind of like us. They're having their old age issues also. So that was my fun. Like I said, actually before the next FlossTube video, I will have attended another retreat. And I think I signed up for one. I think the next one I signed up for is in March. So I'll have a couple months off, and then we'll know more what's going on with the rest of our life here before I sign up for any more. So anyway, that was fun. If you ever get a chance to go to a retreat, they're all different, but I've never really been to a bad retreat. I've been to better ones than others, but anytime I can get away and just be with my stitching friends and don't be nervous because you don't know anybody. I have gone to so many retreats where I did not know one person there. I just went, and I have met so many lifelong friends, people I've known, for a lot of years. So take the leap, even if it's just a one-day one. They have a lot of them where you can just go to a shop and stitch. Even that, it's just fun to just go stitch. So now I have some exciting news. I have a new reproduction sampler available in my Etsy shop. I actually have to load it up after I finish with this video, but it is called The House with the Green Door, The House with the Green Doors, because she didn't put her name on it. So it's called The House with the Green Doors, a Schoolgirl Sampler. And this is the little house that's on the sampler. I will hold up the actual sampler. I have it here. You can see the sampler is very brown. I spent a lot of time trying to get the picture good, but it's very challenging because the sampler is framed under glass. Whoops, and I did not want to unframe it because it's very nicely framed. If it was me, if it was me, I would not put a mat on it. I don't mat samplers, especially antique ones. But since it's already framed, I left it in there because it's very nicely framed. And it was framed in New York at Verne Gallery, in case anybody knows where that's at. But it's a very sweet sampler. Let me talk about, I've got kind of what, I don't know much about it, but I wrote, the girl who stitched this sweet sampler did not sign or date her sampler, although there are lots of initials. So perhaps one of the initials on here belonged to her. And maybe her house had these green doors. See, the house has got two big green doors on it, kind of almost looks like a salt box house. And the sampler was stitched on a natural linen that is approximately 30 threads per inch. And the linen may have been a little lighter when she stitched it, and it could have darkened with age and storage and that type of thing. Cotton and silk threads were used in the original sampler, and I reproduced it with DMC floss. But of course, you can substitute your favorite silk threads if you prefer. The design of the sampler is 72 inches high and 202 stitches wide. And that's why I liked it. I don't even know if I have another horizontal sampler like this. Those aren't real common. I've seen a few out there, but they're not as common. And she stitched the sampler using cross, a little bit of four-sided, and you can't see them very well, but there's a bunch of alphabets down here, or a bunch of initials down here that were stitched with Algerian eyelet. And of course, I have all the stitch instructions in here. But again, this will be available in my Etsy shop, hopefully tonight while I'm waiting for this video to upload. And it will be available as a print or as a digital download. So you'll save shipping. But I was just so excited. I saw it. I had moved some stuff around and I found this sampler and went, holy cow, maybe I should reproduce that. And I went and looked and I actually already had. So there you go. I've obviously had the sampler for a lot of years. I just had not finished the pattern. That's me. So that's that excitement. So the next thing I want to talk about is I have it listed as an SAL WIP. And for those of you that don't know, an SAL is a stitch along, where a lot of people or a few people buy the same pattern and stitch it together. And a lot of times the pattern is released over time. So I'll talk about this one. And a WIP or a WIP is a work in progress. So that's what I'm working on right now. And so when I went to the retreat, I wanted something to work on. I had just finished the stitch a day with the 365 different stitches and some other things like that. And I didn't have anything on my own designs to work on. And I only had like a day or two to get ready. So I wanted something simple and fun. So I was on Instagram, and this is the second time this has happened. I was just thinking about something and I'm scrolling through Instagram and up popped this stitch along. It's called the Eternal Goddess, SAL, stitch along. And it's by a company I've not heard of. Hopefully I can pronounce it correctly. Quaternion Productions. Quaternion, I don't know. Anyway, there's a link. So you can see how it's spelled and how it is. You can find her on Instagram and Etsy and her own website. So anyway, I'd not heard of them before. So I saw a picture, a part of it, and I went, wow, I really like that. So I checked it out. I went to her website and found it. And it's only, I think some people are only working it in 2 colors. I'm working it in 4. So again, very simple. I found the colors I'm using in my own stash. So I didn't have to go purchase anything. So anyway, what it is, let me show you this. This is what the stitch along looks like, and it's different goddesses. So the first time, let me talk about the stitch. This actually started, the stitch along started on June 25th. And of course, I did not find it till the middle of November. So it's almost done. And actually the last pattern comes out on December 14th. And each section was sent out every 2 weeks, but because I started late, I actually received all of them, including the outline and 7 of the goddesses. And I'm waiting for the last 2. So I think one's supposed to come out on November 30. So I may have it. If I don't, I'll have to contact her. And the last will come out on December 14th. But I'm really enjoying it because it's just cross stitch. So I don't have to think real hard. I picked 2 dark colors that I will use for the main designs. And then I think you can see there's some reds. She had red and orange. So I picked out a red and an orange that I love. So anyway, these are goddesses. So the first, you got this lovely little border, which I don't have it all done. I'm kind of working it as I go down. I do have the top done. So the first one is Freya with her 2 cats. I probably won't be able to pronounce all these correctly, and please excuse me. So this is Freya. This, I love her. I have her done. Wait till you see it. It's beautiful. Amaterasu. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. This is Segmet, and I'm working on that one right now. And then 5, that's 3. This is 4 is Athena with her owl here. Part 6 which I love. She looks like a dragonfly or something, is Inanna. Part 6, I love her too, is the Venus of LaSalle. Part 7, where are we? 7 here is Kali, I'm not sure. And this is Guan Yin. And this is Mami Wata. I'm not sure, again, how to pronounce that, but that's what it looks like. But I just love it because, like I said, it's fairly simple and not, it's all done in cross stitch. Okay, so now this is mine. And see, I just love her. Isn't she beautiful? Here's Freya with her cats on this side. And I think it was Ahmet over here that I'm working on. Here you can see how nice the patterns are. I did print them out. So you get, first thing was you got the outline. So again, I started that, but it's easier just to work it as I go. So I've already stitched the pattern with her on it. And now I'm working on this section here. So I'm working it on 40 count linen because I happen to have this already on scroll rods. I was working, doing a different design and I didn't like it. So I started it over again. I just pulled it all out. And that was what I used a little brush for, to pull it out. And so I'm going to have a lot of room on this side. I probably can use that for something else. But I just love it. Look at the, let me see, yeah, how the overdyed threads look on her. I love how it turned out. So the blacker color that I'm using, which I thought I had enough, but obviously not. I'm going to have to get some more. This is a Gentle Art cast iron skillet. So it's not very overdyed, just a little bit. It's kind of a grayish black. So my two dark colors, she called for, I don't remember, it was a gray or something, but I pulled this. It's hard to see. It's called taffeta. So it's kind of a grayish purple. It's beautiful. So, and it's not a huge contrast, but it's a little bit lighter than the black. And then it called for like a burnt orange rust color. And I had this all tangled up. This is called Adobe. It's Weeks Dye Works. So that is what I use for Freya's hair here, her hair. And I'm going to use it on this one here. I wanted all red on this one. And then this, I love this red so much. This is Crescent Colors and it's called Ruby Slippers. And I'm such a big Wizard of Oz fan, but I just love it. It's, you can see it in the sun or whatever that is. It's just amazing, the colors. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. So it's been a lot of fun. The charts are really clear and they're in a PDF, or you can print them out, or you can use an app. I just downloaded an app on my new tablet I just got. So I'm going to have to figure out how to use that so I don't have to mess with all the papers. Of course, I'll have to mess with my tablet, but that way I can mark it up as I go. But again, I'm really enjoying this. So I will keep you updated. I'll have a lot more done. I'm hoping after the next retreat. Of course, at these retreats, I usually sell my patterns and stuff. So hopefully I'm busy selling patterns always, so I don't get as much time to stitch as I'd like. And then with the next one that I'm going to, I'm not staying there. So I'll come home at night, and usually I didn't so much on the last one, but a lot of times you go out to eat and then you come back and you may stitch for a couple of hours or till midnight or however late. I don't know how late the rooms are open. I think that one place they closed at 10, but I didn't stay up that late because I was pretty tired. So anyway, that is my fun stitch along sale I'm doing. And I don't usually show you whips unless they're my own designs, but I just, again, check it out. She has a lot of other really cool designs, a lot of feminine or feminist almost designs. She has a Viking sampler that's very cool. So I did buy another one. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, I really like her patterns, most of them. So anyway, okay, it's that time. It's time for a new stitch of the month. And this month I'm doing something a little different. All the other stitches have been regular counted thread type stitches. And this is too, but this is a pulled thread stitch. I love pulled thread. It makes your fabric look like lace, and that's what it was used for. There's a ton of books out there on this, but I'm going to show you my favorite. And actually, I just realized it's falling apart on me because I've used it so much. And I also put a link to Amazon for this book, but it's out of print, I'm sure, but you can find it. Let me show you. Anyway, it's called The Open Canvas by Carolyn Ambuter. And it says canvas, but it has a whole section on the pulled thread, which is where I am the most of the time, but she has pulled canvas, needle weaving, hem stitching, filet, hardanger, reticello, and head of bow. All these different patterns. She has patterns in here, stitch diagrams that are really nice. And again, I just realized this book, I've used it so much, it's actually coming apart on me. See that? It's coming apart. I think I have another copy of this somewhere. Because I think I saw one at a garage sale or a flea market, and I picked it up just because it's such a good book. But this one, to tell you how old it is, let me go through it. I was at an EGA seminar, and I bought this. And there it is. She signed it for me. She was selling these books there. It says, Dear Dawn, enjoy open canvas work, Carolyn Ambuter, 1985. There you go. That will show you how old this is, but it is just wonderful. And I went online and I just typed in the name Carolyn Ambuter, The Open Canvas, and I found this book for like $5. The link I put was to Amazon, so you can really look at it and look up close. And I think it was, I don't know, $6 to $12 on Amazon for used copies. I know I have another one somewhere. But anyway, this is where I get a lot of my stitches from. She even has an alphabet, a pulled thread alphabet. So anyway, I wanted to talk about also the difference between pulled thread and drawn thread. And I've done drawn thread. I don't do it as much. I enjoy it. I don't think I'll teach that, but you never know what I'm going to do. So pulled thread is you actually, as you're stitching, you pull the stitches tight. I'm sure you've done that before with a loose, if you're working on linen or something and the weave is fairly loose and you accidentally pulled it a little tight and your the linen threads pulled together, that's pulled thread. But when you do it with purpose, it becomes prettier. If you follow a pattern, it becomes prettier. And I have several patterns that I have that teach pulled thread. Okay, I went and got this little pattern here just to show. Let me open this up because it needs a new bag anyway. This is a pattern I designed many, many years ago. It's dated 2006, but I think that's when I actually finalized the pattern for sale. I kind of use this as a teaching piece. See down here at the bottom, these are pulled thread stitches. See how they open up? This is a miniature blackwork and whitework sampler. And if you want to get a little taste of how to do reversible blackwork, this is available in my Etsy shop. Down here at the bottom, can you see? This is actually the stitch. I'm going to demonstrate here. It's a reed stitch. And this just shows just a few little blackwork, or I mean, not blackwork. It shows some pulled thread stitches. So you can see how they're pulled together. So the chart I'm going to show you, the diagram, I'm going to show you, it may look really confusing, but if you just follow the numbers, it really makes sense. Famous last words. So this is the December stitch of the month. So it's actually 5 straight stitches, and then you work these stitches, go up, work these, and down. And as you go, you actually pull the fabric threads tight, the linen, and it will create this open lacy look. And so this is the sampler. I added this little band on the bottom. These are available on the Stitch of the Month, in the Stitch of the Month Facebook page files. So, or no, it's a group. So if you join the Stitch of the Month Facebook group, you will get all of these files and all the other stitches for the whole year. If this is the first time you've watched my videos, all these different stitches are available in the files. So, but this is the stitch we're going to do here that I'm going to demonstrate. I got caught up on my own little band sampler because last time I forgot to stitch it or I didn't have time. Now this is small, so you won't be able to see it real well. But here is, no, you're not gonna be able to see that at all. That's really hard to see, but I was looking for something dark to put behind it, but I'm going to be demonstrating it so you'll be able to see it. Normally, pulled thread is worked in thread using threads that are the same color as your linen background you're using. I use the sulky overdyed, or it's not overdyed, but this, it's hard to see. It's called Spring Garden, and it's very, very pale green, pale yellow, pale pink. But that is what I use. And obviously it's very hard to see. Oh, there, you can kind of see it. But when I demonstrate it, it will be much bigger than that because I have like 20 count linen and a magnifier that I'm going to show it. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to go to the PowerPoint so you can see these diagrams up close and I can describe what's going on here. And then I will go over and demonstrate the stitches for you. So hold on and let me change to PowerPoint and then I'll come back and talk about it a little bit. Okay, so here we are. So the top display, the top picture shows what the actual diagram or what it looks like on the chart. So you can see there's 5 lines and then there's 5 more, but they're divided by dark blue lines. And what that does, it breaks those into 3 different sections over 2 threads. So you're going to do the first section is going to be over 6 threads. And then the next section is 3 sections over 2 threads. And you can see that in the diagram below. If you follow the numbers, you come up at 1 and down at 2, which is over 6 threads down. And then you're going to come up at 3, which is 1 thread over from 1. This actually starts even with the edge of the sampler. And as you come up, you will actually pull the thread you're working with. Don't pull with the needle, pull the actual thread, and it will compress the linen threads. And I'll show you that in a minute. So you just work your 5 stitches through 9, 10 the same way, pulling as you go. You go up and then down, and then as you come up again, that's when you will pull. So step 1, 2 will actually be pulled at step 3. So that's how that works. And then when you have step 9, 10 done, you're going to go over 1 thread from 10 and then up 2 threads. So you can see it's numbered 11, 12. So you're going to work the bottom row, then the next row, then the next row. And if you work them in that order, you come out in the exact right spot to start your next group of stitches over 5 or over 6. So as the ones over 2 threads aren't going to pull as much, but they'll still pull together. And it all depends on the linen you're using. The linen I'm using is very stiff and it's harder to pull. Now, if you're using like a Lugana or something very soft, it may not pull as well either because it's too soft. Whereas linen, when you compress it like that, it will usually stay like that. So anyway, you're going to work across, going over 2, 11, 12, 13, 14, going down, doing your loop, pulling again as you come up to pull the previous stitch. So you work across to 19, 20, and then you go down at 20 and come right up, straight up 4 threads and come up at 21, down 2 threads, and then continue across the row to 29:30. Then you're going to go up 4 threads again to 31 and go down 33, 34. And as you work across, you will have 3 rows over 2, 3 rows of 5 stitches over 2. So then at 39:40, you'll come up and do step 41, 42, which is the same as step 1, 2 in the first stitch you did. So I hope that makes sense. And now what I'll do is I will bring up the my little camera here and demonstrate the stitches for you. Okay, so here we have, this is actually a 20 count linen, I believe it is. Let's turn the light on it, make it a little easier to see. Usually I work on plastic canvas, but what you can't pull that. So what I've done is I've made this same bags on the floor. I've made this same type of setup only with a large count linen. See how large, and I've got it way zoomed in so you can really see this. Now, when I do this stitch, you have to be careful with pulled thread, because if you're pulling, you may pull out your knot or however you've started it. Now, I've in the first video I ever did, number 1, I talked about waist knots, away waist knots, and regular waist knots. So what I'm going to use, see where I need to start. I'll start here, is a waist knot. And I'm going to stitch over it. So I put a big knot in the end of this. Actually, let me put a bigger knot in the end of it. Put a big knot in the end of it and gone down. So now I'm going to start over here. So, and as I stitch, I'm going to cover up this thread on the back. And you just have to make sure your thread doesn't slip out as you're working it. Whoops, I did that the wrong way. Let me start. Actually, I'm going to go down with this stitch. So I need to start up here. There. So now I'm going to count down. So this is step 1. Count down 6 threads. Move this down a little bit there. Trying to focus it in a little better. See if I can get it. I like it. I want to make sure it's focused good. Doesn't always focus the best. Okay. So there is step 1, 2. Now I'm going to come up 1 thread over from step 1. This is step 3. And I'm going to pull. See, I'm pulling with the thread and pull these stitches tight. Now, this is pretty flimsy thread, so or very loose, soft linen, so it's not going to stay together as well. But never pull with your needle. Always pull the thread, because if you pull with your needle, you're going to wear out. You're going to wear out your thread here, and it will break. So I'm going to go down. This is the second one. I'm going to give that another pull there. So, and then as I come up, this is step 5, 6. So that's step 5. And I'm going to pull. See how these are pulling together? So there's 5, 6. And as I come up, and I may do some more complicated pulled thread stitches next year. And some of them you have to go over the steps twice to make sure it holds. So that is step 7, 8. And this is step 9 that I'm coming up. Step 9, you see how these are pulling? It'll be much prettier on yours, I'm sure. So, and this is step 9, 10. Now for step 11, I'm going to come over 1 thread from 10 and up 2 threads. And then as I do that, again, I'm going to pull, and you want to pull firm. Different pulled thread stitches have different tightness. So some you pull slightly, This one I tend to pull fairly tight. And again, these ones going over 2 are not going to pull together as tightly as the ones, whoops, not as the ones over 6 threads, because there isn't as much, whoops, there isn't as much give or as much room to pull. It's 15, 16. I just kind of count them by 5s because I know there's 5 in each group. So that's 1, 2, 3. This is step number 4. And that's step 5, which is 19, 20. Then I'm going to actually come up 4 threads. So I'm going to work here, and work back the other way. Hold that. So that's 21, 22. Oops. This thread is, or this linen is very loose. So it's hard to, it's easy to poke into the linen thread itself, split it. Oops. I'm working with a really long thread, so it knots quite a bit. But you don't want to run out in the middle of this. I mean, sometime you'll have to. If you're doing something big, you're going to end up running out in the middle of it. So there's the middle row. Now I'm going to, if I can get my needle in here, there we go. I'm going to go work. See, there's my big knot. Work my top row. So I'm going to come up here, 1 thread over from step 9. So this will be step 31. And then you're going to share the hole with a 29, 30. And I'm just going to work my 5 stitches across again. Pull that a little tighter. Boy, I'm knotting up really bad here. You can kind of see how this is bowing out. This is up farther, and then this section's kind of like bowing out. That's what gives it a design, the lace look. That's how it's supposed to look. So, and this is my last stitch of the 3 groups of 5. Now I just diagrammed this with 1 row. I just charted it with 1 row on the sampler, but if you want to do 2 rows and offset them, maybe do the group of 3 first, and then the 5, and then the group of 3, it gives a really pretty pattern. So now I'm back up to step 41, which is the same as step 1, 2, and I'm just going to do another 5 stitches here. And that's how I have it diagrammed. And then if you see on the diagram, it shows how to start the next section over 3 again. But that is what is called the reed stitch, which is a pulled thread stitch. I mean, you could do this not pulled thread and it would be very pretty too, but the pulling the stitches really gives it a design, makes it look very lacy. So I love pulled work. If you look up Danish pulled thread, I have a book somewhere on Danish pulled thread. So it's a beautiful stitch. So there's the next section of, did I do 6? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Oops. I did 6. So I'm going to take that one out. I'm just stitching away. So again, now I'm going to start the next group of going over 2. My thread is totally knotted here, but you can see how that works. So this is going to be the next section over 2. So that is reed stitch, pulled reed stitch. So I hope you like that, and I hope you'll try it. It's a fun stitch. I love pulled thread. So that's it for FlossTube number 23. Again, thank you to everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Be sure to subscribe so you'll know when the next video posts. I love to see comments, so please post comments. I try and answer all of them in a fairly timely manner. So be sure to share your photos of the stitch of the month that you've completed, even if you do it on a different project. Also, I have a group for the a stitch a day, the pattern I talked about last time in the last FlossTube. It's one of my new patterns. It has 365 different stitches in it. And I've started a Facebook group for that. So be sure to join that. And you don't have to buy the pattern to join. It'll just be fun to see how everybody else works their a stitch a day, and hopefully it'll be inspirational to you. Be sure to let me know what stitches you want to learn. Is there something you're having problems with or something you want to learn? Let me know and I'll see if I have it. If not, I can figure out how to do it. And also, again, all the links are posted below. So if you want to go look up something, please check it out and let me know what you think. I'm very excited. My next FlossTube, I'm so excited. I have a brand new, well, new to me, antique sampler that I'm going to be talking about. It's from 1822, and I'm working on getting it charted already just because it's different. It's lovely. Anyway, you'll see it next month. So be sure to watch next month, or not next month. Be sure to watch on December 15th. I'll be talking about the sampler and probably doing some up close showing some of the motifs. It has some really interesting little motifs and things, and I'm going to be showing them up close and talking about the sampler, and hopefully I'll have more of it charted. I started charting it, so, and it's I'm enjoying it a lot. It's very pretty. So anyway, I will see you on December 15th. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.